This, I doubt he'll ever hear it, but this message is for Greg Abbott and some of our other illustrious cheating Republicans, MAGA Republicans. This is a news flash. You don't work for Trump. You're supposed to be working for the residents of Texas, those little people who voted for you. Uh, and right now, you acting like you work for Trump. Trump wants you to find five, take away the seats of five Democrats and turn them Republican. Look, man, if you got to cheat, you don't need to win. You don't need to be in charge of anything. I mean, if our leaders don't follow the rule of law and don't play fair, why should we? Why should we, the public, why should we follow the rule of law? Why should we, you know, um, remain civilized and follow decorum if our leaders can't do it? See, that's the thing about being a leader is that, you should be leading by example. And so far, Greg Abbott, I'd have to say you're not doing very good. You nor King, was it Paxton over there? Um, but yeah, I mean, Trump wants you to cheat. I don't want you to cheat. And then how you did it was just disgusting. I mean, you are cheating the flood victims out of the money, the relief that they need. And while you want to blame it on Democrats leaving the state, that's not the case. You could have just held the special session and kept it about the flood victims, but you didn't. You had to sneak in this stupid redistricting in the middle of, in the middle of everything in 2005, between censuses. And that's what you did. You took away, Greg Abbott, Greg Abbott, and Paxton. Y'all are the ones that took, that are stalling out the relief for the flood victims. This is directly your fault. Take out the stupid redistricting, and the Democrats will return. And I do agree with them leaving because I'm not in favor of you redistricting. I up until 2016, I voted pretty much Republican, but Trump is such a liar and a cheat. I don't want to be associated with anybody that has to cheat. If you got to cheat to win, you don't deserve the office you're in. If you want people around you, you want your citizens to not cheat, not lie. You expect us to follow laws and, follow laws that you set forth, then you need to follow the rules yourself. Okay, because if you don't follow the rules, then I don't see any reason why the rest of us should. And my taxpayer dollars are going for this crap. I'm not happy with you at all. Not happy. And you think that, I know Paxton, especially him and Cornyn, are trying to vie for President Trump's blessing at the midterm. I'll tell you what, them tariffs hits people's bank accounts. The only thing that's going to be less popular than Trump is the measles. I don't know. They might be tied by that point because right now the full brunt of the tariffs have not hit. When they do, I guarantee you, you can lie all you want about Democrats and Epstein files and all this other crap, but one thing you can't really hold from the public, and that is how much things cost. And so, because Trump is supposed to be lowering the price of everything, and he ain't lowered the price of anything. Matter of fact, he's adding a tax to make things even more expensive. I don't think those are going to be very popular with people. And speaking of taxes, one of the forms of resistance that small businesses that do, how do you say it, that buy and sell things that they import, one of the things you might consider doing, and Bezos was going to do it, but he's such a spineless weasel, is to actually show how much more those tariffs are costing people. You can always say, the price of the good is, 9.99, but 9.99 plus tariff, and you write in the tariff, tariff $3. Or if you really have some guts, you can call it the Trump tax, or the Trump tariff. So say your dress is 9.99, which is $10 plus $3 tariff, and now the dress costs 13 plus tax. I think that one of the ways to get people to understand that tariffs are something that we pay, is to actually show that charge, just like they do sales tax. You go in and buy something, and it shows you how much you paid for the item, and it shows you the sales tax. But if you can actually show it with the item, like this is what we would have charged, and this is how much the tariff is extra. The tariff is going to cost you. I think that would be one form of resistance because I think until people see black and white, till they actually see how much Trump is costing them, um, I think that that's, it may not be real to some people. To other people like myself who actually can do math, I know about how much extra this is going to cost, 15 to 30% or 100%. I mean, what the heck is up with this? It's like Trump gets mad at China and punishes us. Okay, why? I mean, a lot of this crap just don't make sense. He was out there talking tariffs and people out there clapping like trained seals, and I never could figure out why are you cheering for extra taxes? I mean, and then they try to say, well, this is patriotic duty. Okay, so if the states raise our property taxes at our patriotic duty, yeah, it's just another tax. So the tariffs are a tax. I think that an idea of resistance is for those that are affected, those businesses that are affected because the imports. And I know you can only eat the tariffs for so long, is to actually show exactly how much the tariffs are going to cost. And it wasn't really my idea. I was on the phone with somebody who was opening invoices during our conversation, and they saw that the tariffs cost them an extra $500. Until they saw it in black and white, they thought the countries, the foreign countries were going to pay them. And I had to explain that we can't tax other countries. Other countries are not going to pay to do business with us. The idea of business, as most people know, is to make money, not lose money. And we can't tax the Chinese government or the Indian government or the Mexicans. The taxes fall on us. And like I said, if you run a business, one of the ideas you might try is to actually show how much more people are paying thanks to Trump and his tariffs. But I'm tired of the whole thing. I am so tired of our. I'm tired of Trump already. I mean, I got tired from the last time he was president. I'm tired of our government being run like a mob. I'm tired of the lying. I'm tired of the cheating and the Epstein. The Epstein files. If they ever came out with the Epstein files, I wouldn't believe them anyway. You can't even trust the Trump administration to tell you what the real unemployment numbers are. Okay, they want to destroy a satellite because the satellite measures how well plants are growing with actually, the carbon monoxide, or the what do you call it, the gas, how much, the global, gas heating, or it measures too well. I can't even think of the name of it, but the CO2, it measures too much CO2. It measures how well plants are growing. They want to shoot that down, not because it doesn't work, but because it works too well. So if I can't trust the government for unemployment numbers, job creation numbers, or even global warming, or whether or not it's warming, health advice with Robert Kennedy Jr. I mean, we can't trust the government with these simple things. I don't know why we would think that we could trust them with something like the Epstein files. But what you can trust, should anyone like Wolf or somebody, what you could trust is the victims. I can't figure out why we're talking to everybody but the victims. That doesn't make any sense to me. We're talking to Maxwell and we're talking to this guy and that guy and the biographer Wolf, although he's had some interesting things to say. Why ain't nobody talking to the victims of Epstein? If you really want to know what's in the files, all you got to do is talk to enough victims and you'll find out who they were victimized from. If the victims can trust you to protect them. I would start with maybe victims who live overseas because surely the European administrations are probably more trustworthy than the United States are at this time. Or if somebody had the time, energy, and inclination, they could make up the names for the victims. But I think that I can't figure out why we're talking to perpetrators. I don't know why we're not talking to the victims. I think we really should be talking to the victims. If you want to know who's in the Epstein files or who abused what, I think we should listen to the victims. Matter of fact, a girl came out and said she was 13 and that she was victimized. And she named the person that abused her. it seems like the perpetrators in the Epstein case is actually getting more attention than the victims. And I think if you want the truth, we need to talk to the victims. But anyway, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you for listening.